The latest chaos surrounding the Beyond the Gate storyline with Nicole, Ted, Shanice, and Grayson might honestly be one of the messiest and most addictive relationship spirals we've seen in a long time. And let me tell you something right now. I do not think this story is heading toward a clean ending. Not even close. Because the moment Nicole admitted that she imagines Ted whenever she's with Carlton, oh, everything changed. Everything. And honestly, I gasped. Not because it was shocking that Nicole still misses Ted. Come on, we all knew that. You don't spend years building a marriage, surviving scandals, betrayals, heartbreak, and family pressure just to suddenly erase someone from your heart like they never existed. That's not how soap operas work, especially not in BTG, where emotional history is practically its own character. But the fact that Nicole confessed it out loud to Dani, that's the real bombshell. Because once a character says something that raw and vulnerable aloud in a soap opera, it usually means the writers are preparing us for disaster. Or reconciliation, sometimes both at the exact same time. And honestly, I think we're about to get both. What makes this storyline so fascinating is that Nicole is clearly trying to rediscover herself after the collapse of her marriage. She's dating two men at once. She's exploring freedom. She's embracing attention again. And let's be real for a second. Part of me actually loves seeing Nicole act reckless for once. For years, she carried herself like the responsible one, the controlled one, the woman who always had to keep everything together while chaos exploded around her. Now suddenly, she's out here openly juggling two men who are competing for her affection, testing chemistry with both of them, trying to figure out which relationship actually fulfills her emotionally and physically. That's wild. And yet, Ted is still haunting her mind. That's the tragedy of it all. No matter how exciting Carlton may be, no matter how thrilling this new chapter feels, Ted represents familiarity, history, safety, muscle memory. He's woven into the fabric of her life so deeply that Nicole herself doesn't even fully understand where her feelings begin and end anymore. And Dani's reaction during that confession scene, perfect. Because Dani instantly understood what Nicole was really saying beneath the surface. Nicole wasn't just talking about sex. She was admitting emotional attachment. She was admitting that part of her never truly let Ted go. You could almost feel Dani thinking, oh no, not this again. And honestly, I think Dani should be worried. Because if there's one thing soap operas love more than revenge plots and secret affairs, it's ex-spouses who cannot stay away from each other no matter how toxic things become. That's classic soap DNA right there. And here's where I might disagree with some fans. A lot of viewers think Ted and Nicole getting back together would be repetitive. They think Nicole deserves a completely fresh start. I understand that argument. I really do. Ted hurt her deeply. Leslie destroyed their marriage. The betrayal was humiliating, painful, public, but emotional logic and soap opera logic are not always the same thing. In fact, sometimes the deeper the betrayal, the stronger the eventual reunion storyline becomes. Why? Because reconciliation after devastation creates drama, internal conflict, moral ambiguity, passion. That's exactly the kind of material these shows thrive on. And I honestly think the writers are intentionally reopening old wounds right now. Think about the timing. Ted and Shanice are suddenly having problems. Their arguments keep circling back to Leslie, the woman who completely detonated Ted's marriage in the first place. Shanice may care about Ted, but let's be honest. How can any relationship truly survive when another woman's shadow is constantly hanging over it? It can't, at least not for long. And Ted looks emotionally exhausted lately. That's important because vulnerable Ted is dangerous Ted. Vulnerable Ted makes impulsive decisions, emotional decisions, the kind of decisions that lead to catastrophic hookups and mourning after regret. And I swear, I can already see the setup coming. Ted and Nicole reconnect during a weak moment. Maybe they argue first. Maybe they reminisce. Maybe one of them drinks too much. Maybe they start talking about the anniversary of Leslie ruining everything. And then suddenly all that anger, grief, longing, and unresolved chemistry explodes at once. Boom. One kiss becomes one night. And if that happens, oh, the fallout would be insane because Carlton would feel betrayed. Shanice would be devastated. Dani would probably lose her mind trying to clean up the emotional wreckage. And Ted and Nicole themselves would wake up forced to confront the terrifying possibility that they never truly moved on from each other at all. That's the kind of cliffhanger BTG lives for. Now, here's another theory I've been thinking about. What if Ted already knows he's drifting back toward Nicole emotionally, and that's why Monica becomes involved with Shanice? Seriously, think about it. If Ted senses he's about to hurt Shanice, maybe subconsciously he's already preparing an emotional landing pad for her. Soap writers love indirect guilt behavior like that. A character starts emotionally withdrawing before the actual betrayal even happens. And poor Shanice honestly deserves better. The saddest part is that she and Ashley are becoming mirrors of each other. Two women desperately trying to build stable romantic lives while constantly getting caught in emotional crossfire created by complicated men. Ashley especially is entering a really uncomfortable phase right now with Grayson. That tension after their breakup feels so raw, so unresolved. And honestly, Grayson's behavior is throwing up red flags everywhere for me. Because if Ashley truly meant nothing to him anymore, why is he so bothered by her treating him like a stranger? Why does he keep inserting himself emotionally into her space? That kind of reaction usually means one thing in soap operas: control. Not love, control. And that slap scene in front of Leah, oh my God. That scene alone has fans spiraling with theories already. At first glance, it looks straightforward. Ashley and Grayson have a heated argument. Emotions explode. Ashley slaps him. Leah witnesses the entire confrontation. End of story. But I don't buy it. Not completely. Because BTG rarely shows us the full truth immediately. There's almost always another layer underneath the surface. And Grayson has become way too calculating lately for me to believe this confrontation happened naturally. What if the entire argument was manipulated? What if Grayson intentionally provoked Ashley knowing Leah would see it? That changes everything. Because suddenly the slap isn't just emotional. It becomes strategic. Imagine this scenario. Grayson wants Leah to stop obsessing over Ashley. Maybe he realizes Leah's involvement keeps complicating Ashley's life. Maybe he wants to isolate Ashley emotionally. Or maybe, and this would be really twisted, he wants Leah to view Ashley as unstable and aggressive, so Ashley loses credibility moving forward. That sounds dark, but honestly, soap operas love psychological manipulation arcs. And Grayson has that energy right now. There's this growing sense that he wants control over how everyone perceives Ashley after the breakup, which makes me wonder if Ashley herself even realizes how carefully Grayson may be orchestrating certain situations around her. And the scariest part, if Leah believes Ashley is the problem, Ashley could become increasingly isolated emotionally right when she needs support the most. That's exactly how manipulation storylines evolve over time. Slowly, quietly, until suddenly the victim feels completely alone. I'm telling you right now, there's something deeply off about Grayson's behavior lately. And I don't think the slap is the full story. Not even close. That's why these current BTG storylines are working so well. Nobody feels emotionally safe anymore. Every relationship feels unstable. Every character seems one bad decision away from detonating their entire life. And honestly, that's peak soap opera storytelling. Because deep down, we all know calm relationships don't drive daytime drama. Chaos does, desire does, jealousy does, regret does. And right now, Nicole and Ted are drowning in all of it.